In alien Romulus, the group of young colonists in search for cryochambers aboard the abandoned space station Renaissance discover the true horrors of the experimentation taking place in its laboratories. When one of their own is attacked by a facehugger, they bring a badly damaged android back online in search for answers. The android, Science Officer Rook, briefly recalls the incident on Renaissance Station after the alien specimen was secured. One of our towing ships first made contact with this specimen 2 decades ago. Of the 7 crew members aboard the USS Nostromo, only one survived, blowing the creature out of the airlock. We've been searching for it ever since. 170 days ago, our search came to an end, and the body of the xenomorph was brought on board, presumed dead. But of course, lack of oxygen and food is of no true consequence to this perfect organism. It wreaked havoc over this station until what was left of our security forces shot it dead, only to trigger its swan song. I sealed the station back up, but it was too late. The discovery of the xenomorph is depicted in the opening scene of the film. The rest takes place 170 days later, and all that occurred in between is unknown save for Rook's summation. So what exactly happened that led to the downfall of Renaissance Station? An answer can be found in the Alien Romulus one-shot prequel comic released by Marvel at the end of October 2024. Directly tying into the film, the comic is based on the story by Fede Alvarez and Rodo Sayaguz, written by Zach Thompson, with art by Daniel Picciotto and Yen Nitro. It takes place moments after the opening of the film, and features Rook in a prominent role. Other key players of this story include the station's bioweapons director of special projects, Matos, and 2 of its security personnel, Adrian and Hyla. Rook and Matos would have clashing ideas as to how to use this wondrous specimen. The former Colonial Marine Hyla would have her own motives in approaching the situation. Today we are going to explore this comic and see just how it goes about filling the missing pieces. It is revealed that Rook is present right away, along with the others who initially examine the newly found specimen. He takes gauge of its elements. No emissions, no aerosol contaminants. It's secreted resin, but effectively inert. It contains hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. The 4 basic elements of life, noted Matos. One of the scientists asked the director, "Matos, should we cut it open here?" He thought for a moment and turned to the android. "Science Officer Rook?" "It poses no risk," Rook said. Matos decided, "Let's do it." Hyla was watching over, along with Adrian, an uneasy feeling taking her over. That rock oozes rotten energy, and it's coming from whatever's inside. They've been looking for that ship, or that thing, for a long time, Adrian. We need to brain it. She lifted her rifle. Adrian pulled her aim away. "Whoa, chill out, Hyla." "It's gonna wake up," she insisted. Adrian did his best to assure her. "It's dead, and the science officer knows what he's doing." Later, at the Remus lab of the station, Rook and Matos run through the events that brought this specimen to the station 20 years after the destruction of the Nostromo. While this comic does not offer a direct explanation of how all of this information came to them, it can be found elsewhere in the extended universe. A major piece of the puzzle can be taken into account through the novel Alien Out of the Shadows. This story reveals that Ash, the android science officer of the Nostromo, had anticipated a failure to procure the specimen, and implanted his consciousness into the mother computer system, which survived into the escape shuttle Narcissus. Ash was able to send crucial information to the company, including the details of Xenomorph XX-121 and its life cycle, as well as the events that led to the self-destruct of the Nostromo and Ripley's survival. While continuity can be a tricky aspect of the Alien series, this is a story that is considered canon, and a straightforward enough explanation as to how the company gained their knowledge of the specifics of the Nostromo encounter. Even setting aside the events of Out of the Shadows, there is a theory that Ash was able to secretly send certain details to Weyland-Yutani during the events of Alien. This is confirmed, of all things, by a DVD Easter egg found on the 1999 20th anniversary release of Alien. Here we see a report sent to the Bioweapons Division of Weyland-Yutani where Ash offers his musings regarding the xenomorph's life cycle and abilities. It is even revealed that the Nostromo's security cameras were able to pick up some images of the alien, which are attached to the report. While Ash begins to offer some further theories, the report is cut short when he is alerted that Warrant Officer Ripley has successfully accessed the mother computer and Special Order 937. So, Rook, this thing chewed through 7 crew members. 6, Matos. One escaped. Either way, this life form will be invaluable to the weapons division. Typically short-sighted human observation. You see this creature as another opportunity to consolidate power through destruction. Nuclear fusion was about energy before your kind made it a bomb, much like sarin gas. Originally an insecticide to fight hunger, only to be twisted into a chemical weapon. If you humans really want to exterminate yourselves, give the job to a few of us synths. We'll gladly comply. How reassuring. Given what we know about the Nostromo event, this organism was found on LV-426. It evolves from infant to adult at an inexplicable speed. Its ability to generate new tissue and survive almost any environment could hold the key to what our founding father, Peter Weyland, was searching for. "What's that?" Matos asked. "Eternal life. Prometheus fire." Rook pierced the skin of the specimen. The instrument immediately bubbled and fizzled as the blood of the alien seeped and consumed it. Rook took a step back. Concentrated acid for blood. Fascinating. Suddenly the arm of the specimen swung in Matos' direction. He gasped. "It's still alive," a scientist called out, grasping a small surgical scalpel in defense. Rook raised a hand, signaling the others to stand back. "Everyone relax. It's just a muscle spasm. This is an autopsy. Even if we detected life, the control rig holding it keeps the internal temperature sub-zero. We are in a controlled environment. We are in control." Hyla and Adrian were observing this autopsy from outside the lab. "I don't trust that synth," Hyla said. "Why have us stand guard if it's really dead?" "Okay," said Adrian. "Say it's still alive. Then what's it doing frozen in there?" "Biding its time." Adrian pointed to her eye patch. "Playing dead is a common survival mechanism. I learned that the hard way in the Colonial Marines." She began to tell Adrian the story of her past and what ultimately brought her to this station. "We were deployed on LV-147, a mineral-rich moon, clearing the indigenous critters before terraforming began in earnest. It was a routine bug hunt. I thought I killed them all. Got cocky. Got too close. And paid for it with my career. The company took care of me, I guess. Stuck me here, playing security on this boring-ass station." Adrian turned in contemplation. "You never told me that." "You never asked," Hyla said. "The point is, I may be missing an eye, but I can see what these button pushers don't. That rock is a threat to Renaissance and everyone on board." Okay, I got your back. What do you suggest we do?" "We wait until the scientists are preoccupied." "The synth doesn't sleep." "No, but it'll eventually be pulled away. The minute it's gone, we sneak into the lab and send that rock back into space where it belongs." The days went on, and Rook continued his experimentation. "Mother, record audio log. We have successfully harvested the life form's DNA and determined it is a composite of human and endoparasitoid extraterrestrial. A creature known as the XX121 xenomorph. With its DNA, I've managed to synthesize its most basic ovomorph form, and replicated the second parasitoid stage in its life cycle. These reproductive agents orally plant a seed to impregnate the human host, thus they contain the accelerant responsible for the creature's incredible growth. I've managed to extract small samples to create a compound, but the process cannot be Matos interrupted. "Rook, we need these parasitoids sent down to the Romulus module. The bioweapons division is tired of waiting." Rook replied plainly. "No. For the sake of expediency, I need every one of them. I am on the verge of discovering the key to immortality. To build better worlds, we must build better humans. No, you're a simple synth preventing human progress, and you work for me. How many can you spare?" "No more than 5. "We're taking half. We'll leave our dedicated science officer with a skeleton crew in Remus. Everyone else, you're reassigned to the Romulus lab." "It's imperative my research isn't disrupted any further. This could be "Your concerns are noted, Rook." As Rook followed Matos, Hyla and Adrian began their slow entrance into the lab. They listened as Rook made his pleas. "You don't seem to understand. The non-Newtonian fluid within the XX121. It could be a panacea for humankind. This was their chance. "De-rig the rock," Hyla said. "Then we'll strap it onto one of the station's defense rockets and blow it to hell." Adrian followed her instructions. "What are you going to do?" She grabbed a nearby fire axe. "I need to see what they're hiding in the cryo chamber." She swung, splitting the door open, revealing the results of Rook's painstaking work. Good God. They're synthesizing alien parasites. It's a shame their experiment failed. Hyla tore into the cryogenic machinery with the axe. Water poured out and flooded the chamber. Adrian turned. "Hyla, what are you—" Then he saw it. Shit. He let out a blood-curdling scream. Hyla came running to the rock, now de-rigged and empty. Adrian slumped over it face down. She moved his body to see his bloodied and disfigured face. No, no, no. She heard the scuffling of the creature. "You son of a bitch!" She fired her rifle. Missed. The lab doors swung open and Rook entered, shocked. "What have you done?" She gestured to the nearby corridor. Whatever was in that rock, it went in there. Rook lowered his head. Imbecilic human. I was trying to kill it before it woke up. It only reanimated because you removed it from the rig. He rushed to the computer to gauge the progress of the compound. "If you've disturbed my apocal work," the report revealed. "Compound Z01, processing 75%, now ready for Phase 1 trials." He knew time was short, and he wasted none of it. He called into the Romulus module of the station, but not to warn them of the escape. "Attention Romulus Lab, this is Science Officer Rook. Begin Phase 1 trials for Compound Z01 immediately." The Romulus scientists followed Rook's orders. They extracted the compound from the parasitoids and injected them into the lab rats. The trials began, and the results were being documented. Rook followed the progress in real time. "We're so close." Hyla grabbed him by the shoulder. "What's wrong with you? Kopecki's dead, and we've got a fucking bug out there, man." He grabbed her wrist, removing her hand from him. "Then we best finish what you've started. The xenomorph poses a threat to the entire station. We need to kill it before it interrupts my research." This Hyla could agree with. She cocked her rifle. "Time to hunt." Rook picked up a nearby tracking device and rose to join her. "This will track the creature's unique body temperature." "Where do you think it's headed?" Hyla asked. Rook examined the tracker activity. "If I had to posit a guess, to protect its young." The Romulus team had assembled specimens of the parasitoids on the bottom level of the station. "They're truly remarkable, Matos," the security tech noted. Matos agreed. "Imagine them cleaning up populations in the failing colonies." "I'm not so sure," said the tech. "Leaving settlers to die would be a PR nightmare." "Yes, but these creatures provide a cheaper alternative to extraction. They're plausible, deniable. If just one xenomorph gestates and wipes the place out, that's simply the danger of colonization." Matos was interrupted by the sounds of hissing from down the corridor. This was not the hissing of pipes. This was something different. From the darkness, the xenomorph emerged in a violent fury, grabbing the scientists and striking with the sharp edge of its tail. Matos began to run through the Romulus lab, outpacing the others as they begged for him to wait. He closed the door behind them, leaving the others easy prey for the escaped specimen. It lurched through the hall, noticing the captive parasitoids. It struck the containers with its tail and released them. In their freedom, they very quickly found hosts nearby, and struck at the scientists, attaching to their faces. Rook and Hyla had made their way into the Romulus module, much too late. Already secreted resin covered the walls, and there were no signs of the scientists. The tracker was going wild. "Something's coming at us. Fast," Rook said. "How far out?" Hyla asked. A voice shouted out to them. "Don't come this way." It was Matos. "The xenomorph. It's in Romulus. It freed the parasitoids. They grabbed everyone. They're all dead." "Just tell me where to shoot," Hyla said. Matos defensively raised his hands. "Fighting it is insane. We need to run." Claws reached down from an above vent, grasping Matos by his throat. The creature pulled him up into the ducts and raised him toward its snarling fangs. Its inner pharyngeal jaw struck outward, piercing into one side of Matos' head and out the other. Hyla let out a barrage of fire above her. Rook pleaded. She seized fire and scanned around the ducts. Damn thing disappeared. It was gone. Matos' body flung downward, suspended by wiring grasped around his neck. The obscene execution gave Hyla a shock. She composed herself and thought. It's climbing floors, tearing its way through the station. Rook's primary concerns were still with the compound. He patched to the station's computer. Mother, what is the status of compound Z01? The computer answered. Processing is now at 96%. Come on, Hyla barked. We've got to get upstairs and kill it. Rook followed. On their trek upwards, he offered further warnings. Shooting the xenomorph is unwise. Its acid blood might create a massive decompression event and kill everyone on board. What else can we do? Rook thought. Renaissance could sustain just a few seconds of decompression, but you'll have to kill it where I can access to seal the station with the emergency systems. Otherwise, all will be lost. Things are looking pretty dire already, bud. The tracker led them into Remus's lab room. Hyla stopped to observe the dead parasitoids subject to Rook's experimentation. This place is revolting. Bioprinting is delicate, Rook said. You have to be willing to suffer failure to create art. The tracker jumped, and Rook held it up. It was close. Very close. The creature descended with impossible speed, swiping its tail and severing Rook clean in half from the torso. Hyla fired. It fell, and its blood poured and began burning through the flooring. Hyla called out, Rook, seal the station! Hurry! Rook crawled to the computer as fast as was possible in his condition. The acid rapidly tore through the station, bringing the xenomorph down and Hyla dangling from the wiring above. Mother, what's the status of compound Z01? 100%. Purge compound. Rook gazed upon the results with admiration, ignoring the chaos around him. It's beautiful. It's perfect. The hole had reached the bottom of the station. Dead bodies of scientists and other staff began to fly out into the vacuum of space. The computer system sounded. Warning, station pressure compromised. Hyla could barely hang on for her life. She screamed at Rook. Seal the station! Rook remained transfixed. Prometheus fire. Hyla lost her grasp, slamming the emergency seal station protocol on her way down. The suction pulled Rook back. He tried desperately to get back to the computer, but the force was too strong. As for Hyla, she was purged from the station, joining the mass of floating dead souls outside of Renaissance. Her final act was successful, and the station was sealed. Rook seemed to be no longer functioning. The compound lay dormant, ready, and waiting. Waiting, apparently, for the unexpected and unsuspecting group of colonists that would happen to set off a chain of events that would give Rook further purpose in finalizing his mission. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more from Alien Theory. My very special thanks goes out to Brandon James, Xeno Shadowmorph, and Xenozip, Queen Tiers of the Patreon Hive. Thank you to Gregory Ford and John Griggs, the Hive's Praetorians. A very special thanks to Lady Anne in the Ellen Ripley Tier of Excellence. And thank you very much to Nicholas Butta and Frank, the Alien Theory Weyland-Yutani executives. If you'd like to join the Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for further information. In the meantime, you can follow me on social media. Follow @alien_theory on X, formerly Twitter. Follow @AlienTheoryYT on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.